Who you talking
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? The crossover is live. I know it's kind of like a shadow drop. This is kind of like a last minute thing because I've been preoccupied with family stuff, and I hit up Ham last night. He was pretty shocked about it, and then I was like, "Hey, man, we're gonna do the show," and he was like, "Oh, you think you can do it? Can you mentally be prepared?" And I'm like, "I'm always mentally prepared, sucker." Anyway. Welcome back, man. I thought it was going to be on his show, and then he's going to tell me like, "Hey, no, it's on yours." Holy moly! So I gave him the spiel like I've always have about how it used to be. If there was something that happened in the last seconds, that I was just like, "Oh man, I just cancel it because there ain't no way I got the time to do it." So I feel good to brag on myself a little bit about setting stuff up fairly quick. Anyway, Ham Solo, what's going on, man? What's going on with your brother, man? It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? The hiatus, there ain't been no GRG for the last couple of weeks, the crossover for the last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? How's everything been going?
It's been up and down and all around.
Oh,
I'll tell you that much. It's been pretty wild. The Thanksgiving holiday was cool, it was nice.
mhm.
Good to see family and stuff like that. Um Maintaining a good mood has been what's been hard for me lately. Maintaining a good mood because I
Bro,
don't know, it's just been like BS after BS thing and some of the stuff
pray
I've
on
been
that.
seeing, some of the stuff I've just kind of been seeing in and outside of gaming has been a little disappointing
Mm.
as of lately. So the entertainment factor hasn't really been hitting for for me. I'm actually pretty hyped for this week. I know that the Game Awards and stuff like that is supposed to be happening. There's supposed to be the Grand Theft Auto trailer that's supposed to be dropping tomorrow morning, which is pretty exciting. I'm happy to have some other things to talk about other than nominations
Yeah.
and tax and stuff like that. Although I know we'll be talking about some of that stuff here today, it's just kind of been a little bit of a drag getting through it. I'm happy that we're on the tail end of some of these conversations.
No, I definitely agree. Like I've been out the loop. I've been wanting to talk about those things, haven't been able to. Appreciate all the people's prayers and everything. Sending out to my mom's. She's still fighting. She's a tough old bird. She should have been gone. There's no question. Last week I thought it was over, but she pulled through to get better. But she's still not out the weeds, and that's why I made that comment. I normally kind of keep my stuff like on Facebook, but I didn't put nothing on Facebook. I just kind of left it alone, and then I just said what I said on Twitter, because I know of a lot of people that I know that smoke, and I'm just like that smoke cigarettes, and I'm just like, bruh, y'all got to put that shit down. It'll catch up with you eventually. It will catch up with you eventually. So that was my whole feelings on that. So I wasn't in the right frame of mind mentally anyway. So I feel you on that one, Ham. I mean, and this is like, my mother had 2 heart attacks in the matter of 3 weeks. We were fine Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving, all that situation happened, and then right after, just like what, 5 days later on that Tuesday, she had another one, and man, so it's been trying to go through all that, but that's neither here nor there. Like I've always said to everybody else, gaming is an outlet for me. I need it, and so what my thing was is that I found myself when I got to get back home, chill out. I was playing Mortal Kombat. I wanted to beat the hell out of people, but I was getting my ass beat there for a while. Started to figure it out, and so yeah, Mortal Kombat is different. But
You said that ping is crazy right now too,
that
though,
ping
and the
is
crossplay
awful. That ping is awful.
good.
Now I see why they don't have crossplay, because everybody that I got it on PC and I got it on Xbox, and so I bought it on PC first. And so then I was like, man, everybody's ping is at like 70 or higher. It was like the lowest one I played was like a 39. And that was only once. So then I went ahead and I got the Xbox version during Black Friday. And I said, okay. And it felt like the input lag was a lot better. But then the pings were still there. So like when I'm trying to do those, because some of the characters I was playing with Shang Tsung, and then I was playing with Gigas, I think that's his name, the black dude that does time and stuff. Or Garrus, I think his name's Garrus. Yeah, the inputs of like those forward, back, press the button sequences, so it's got a hard lag, and even if you put it to short, and you can't put it on long. So if you put it on short, and if you're too slow with it, then it doesn't register because of that lag, and so I'm just getting caught. I mean, I think I went 4 and 35 on online play before I really started to figure out what I needed to do. And so, what I'm saying? So I was cooked from the beginning until I just said, no, I'm just going to play. I'm angry. I want to beat people up. And so I finally started getting there. So now I'm a master 5 rank right now, almost about to be a master champion. And so like when me and Ham was talking last night, I was pissing somebody off. They said, you gonna really do a fatality? Look, man, if I can't get my moves off like I'm supposed to, like I can when I'm over here in practice mode, I'm gonna cheese your ass because you're cheesing me. I'm not gonna allow it. So I'm gonna set back, throw some fireballs, wait till you hit you with the spikes, set it up again, then see if my combos work. If they do, then that's another thing to set it up. But if not, I'm gonna cheese your ass because I've seen so many Omni Men, and he is one of the cheesiest characters in the game so far. Melina, I can't say her name. Melina, she's a beast. She's a beast. I think I might want to try to play with her a little bit, but no, Omni Man is a ridiculous cheap bastard. But regardless, it is what it is. So if you're gonna cheese, I'm cheesing back. Don't get mad at me. So yeah, but
speaking of fighters, though.
Yeah,
speaking of fighters, though, I've been playing the crap out of Killer Instinct as of lately.
Yeah,
playing. They have kind of like a story mode on that game. Is that story mode new? I feel like it is.
No, that story mode was there.
So that story mode's been there.
It's been there for years. Yeah, it's been there for a while.
It's hot. It's hot.
It didn't come out in launch. It came out like season 2 or season 3.
Okay, so it wasn't rolled in with it early.
Yeah, no. It didn't come out with launch. It came in like season 2 or season 3. I want to say season 2. And a lot
I'm
of
not
people,
a Killer Instincts guy like that, but like when I hopped on there and I was like, yo, I don't have, because I don't really know how to play the game that much. I'm not huge in the fighting, right? But I enjoy kicking a little ass. So like so I hopped in there just to be like, oh, let me see if I can just fight some shit. And then I realized that there's a story, and then there's all these different things that are happening with mimics and shadows and stuff like that. Yo, I hopped on there and I was like, this is real nice, and it feels really good.
Oh man, it's excellent. It feels great. Like there was a point when the last time that I played, previous to the recent update, it started to not have that it didn't feel like it felt like it was waning, like it was about to be done. Like you know what I'm saying? You didn't, because I was starting to play against some of the same people that I was going against when I was having a session that last time. I think that was back like in September. And I was like, okay, it kind of feels like, you know, we're at the tail end of this, but now after this, it's after the update, it's smoother than it's ever been, and like it's already there was I played I think I played it for like 5 hours straight, and there was just new people. I have not played the same person over and over again, or other than that. So that just knows that the revitalization. Or I can't even talk today, so let me not try to say big words today. The comeback for Killer Instinct. The people are knowing that the game is making a resurgence. It is one of those things that is bringing people back to it, and that should give them give people out there, Microsoft, you know what I'm saying, some excitement, because they have no choice but to announce some Killer Instinct 2 at some point here within the next year or two. So I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it. But right now it's just off of me and Mortal Kombat, so I can get that fighting system down, and then I'll be back on KI. But the fighters is going to be in January. It's nothing but fighters, because I'll be back on Street Fighter, Naruto, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, because the mighty one is going to be back, Tekken 8, and then there's another fighter that's going to arena fighter that's going to be dropping, Kishin. It's from an anime. It looks pretty interesting. I've never seen the anime, but you know, if there's a fighter, I'm going to get it. And then also Relink, not Relink. I think that's the last, because they're making a RPG version of it, of Grand Blue, of Grand Blue Fantasy, and I think Relink is Rising. Grand Blue Rising is the fighter. Relink is the RPG. So that's going to be dropping here in 2020, early 2024 too. So no, matter of fact, I'm lying. It's dropping on the 7th. It's dropping this month on the 7th. So Fighters is back. Fight Night Sunday will return soon. So get ready for all that. So, you there?
What's up?
Oh, I said you there. You must have been busy doing something else. Okay, so how do we want to do this show? This is going to be a little different because, again, I haven't talked about a whole bunch of stuff. So what we're going to do is that we're going to talk about the snub from like Grand Theft Auto 6. That's really our only topic. Everything else is going to be like a freestyle. So if you guys want to bring in
snub, and the first thing that came to mind was Florida State.
Bro, yeah, I'm losing my mind over that too. I am so sick of the media trying to let Alabama or the SEC get love, even though I know my Sooners and Texas is going to be moving over to the SEC. The SEC should not have anybody in the championship game this year. FSU,
hey man,
undefeated. Yeah, say it.
I said Florida State. Man, they looking like Xbox, right?
Bro. There's an
and
FSU
the SEC,
tax.
guess who? Yeah. The Alabama PlayStation, that PlayStation push right there, man.
Oh my God, bro!
And see, we were talking about this before the show, and that's why I've been saying, yo, there's bias everywhere. It's in all forms of anything that you enjoy. Yeah. There is bias because you know what? Everything is ran by people, not by some third party entity that has nothing to do with our feelings.
Right.
These things are ran by people that have feelings about the things that they like and stuff like that. So when you see certain things not really make any sense, you start to see the media not make any sense either, but tell you that they are making sense.
Right.
And they make you look stupid if you don't agree with them. Man, seeing that snub for Florida State, I was just like, goodness gracious. I don't know how you go undefeated and you still get over.
No, and that's the thing that bothers me the most is like you going on. See, the media always talks about they want a Cinderella story. That's the perfect Cinderella story. it doesn't matter if they get blown out or if they don't. They earn the right to get into the playoff. They went undefeated. The only reason why Alabama should even been in consideration because of a ridiculous play call defensively from Auburn. And I know we're talking about sports, but we'll get off of it quickly. We'll get back to gaming. But you know what I'm saying? For a 4th and 30 Hail Mary, that dude was open to catch it. I'm like, nobody just send no blitz or no, okay, whatever. All right, that's ridiculous. But it doesn't matter. You know, you get these people those kids earn the right to get into the play. They went undefeated. They won their conference championship. That I don't care about. You know, it's just it's kind of like the VGAs, right? Like it's kind of like that same, like you making their point about like, well, you know, there is no Xbox tax, but you know, we're going to talk about these Xbox games differently than we do. You know, about these other PlayStation games, or we're going to be putting out news still talking about Starfield. Even though Starfield is a successful game, they still want you to make you feel like Starfield is successful, but then yet kind of not talk about what's going on with PlayStation right now, where people who have invested and bought stuff, they are going to lose it, and there's no way for them to recoup that or to even get a refund back from losing Discovery Plus or whatever. So you know what I'm saying, like that to me is kind of like in the same boat, and then the media just trying to overshadow it and try to smooth it over to make it seem like it seems better. No, that pill that I gotta swallow still tastes like shit, and it's also too goddamn big, so I might choke off of it because it's foul. So again, it stinks on top of that. So it makes me sick. It makes me sick. But yeah, no. But
yeah,
also,
they always say it doesn't matter if you win by 1 or 100, right? But it clearly mattered randomly, right?
Right.
So to me, it's just like, and this goes with any industry. This goes with gaming. This goes with sports. This goes with anything.
Anything. Yeah.
You like you just said, everybody loves a Cinderella story until Cinderella's knocking at the door.
Right.
And then it's like, how can we not do this? There's got to be somebody else that's better, right?
Yeah.
Remember UCF, how they hung the banner?
Yeah.
Because they got snubbed?
Mm-hmm.
And then they went on to beat Auburn.
That's right.
After they got snubbed.
Right. Yeah. They played them. They beat the hell out of them. Yeah. So yeah. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
You know, I'm just saying, if you're gonna, you can't say one thing and then rewind and be like, no, not this time though. Not this time. The Cinderella story doesn't matter this year, though. It doesn't fit our narrative properly. In my opinion, they looked at TCU. TCU kind of ruined it all for everybody. But in my opinion, I'm still sitting there like, yo, TCU, they didn't lose in the first round.
No, they didn't. They blew the.
They actually beat the team that's there right now.
That's the number 1 team in the nation this year, right? In Michigan. But yeah, so it's crazy. I don't know. Let's resort. Look, we're gonna have to do a sports. We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do a sports podcast. We got to, because we love sports too much, and we talk about it all the time. So I might have to try to make that happen again. Anyway, one thing also I want to try to do, because we'll do these every once in a while, which is a freestyle Monday. Like if we just didn't have the time to come up and think about it, because this is kind of like a last minute thing with topics. We want to get some information from you guys in the chat. You know what I'm saying? What y'all want us to talk about today. And then, you know, so that's why it's going to be Freestyle Monday. So if you guys have something that you want to talk about, just put a @ in the comments and then say, you know, look, boom, this is what I want to hear you guys talk about. And then we'll just go about and discuss it today. While we're getting through it. So let's get through the first topic, man. Let's go ahead and talk about this snub from the VGAs. And it also looks like it's becoming a small trend, not a big trend. But Grand Theft Auto 6 is not going to be shown at the VGAs. It might be shown at the VGAs, but the opening trailer is not. That's one thing. And then so like Jeff Keighley came out and said, well, he didn't know anything about it. Also, then you've seen that Ubisoft on the 21st of this month is going to drop Codename Red, which is the new Assassin's Creed game that's going to drop. Of course, Halo Fireflight or Firefight was dropped today earlier. Looks good. I'm still waiting for my Warzone. It's kind of Warzone ish, but I want my Warzone. Until then, to me, Halo Infinite will be complete. You got to give me some Halo 5 something. But no, I'm pleased about what Halo. I've been playing a little bit more Halo here of late. Matter of fact, I played Sunday and I played last night. And I ranked out whatever that the thing was here, the last what they have in the season. I ranked that already, and then I'm almost done with one of my seasons because I still have, I think, 3 seasons that I need to complete. And so I'm like at 80, 85 or something on one of those seasons. And so I got like 2 seasons in less than a quarter left before I have all my seasons done. But yeah, no, I mean, your thoughts about this whole situation? Why some of these, like, I mean, Grand Theft Auto is the king of all these games right now, right? Like, there's no question the power of Grand Theft Auto 6, and for them not to be in the biggest showing of the year. What does that tell you, Ham? Like, does that mean that like the industry is kind of, there's some people in the industry are saying like, look, the VGAs is cool, but we kind of want to do our own thing, or you kind of getting too big for your britches, or were they upset about the snub from Hogwarts and maybe the way that some of these nominations came about on the VGAs, or is it just one of those things is where Take Two is just like, we're just too big for your show?
I that last one I feel like is very relevant to where
Okay.
it's just like we don't need anybody. We
Anyone,
good. We
anyone.
are self-sustaining and it is clear as day. But you talk about some of the other stuff that's also being shown off that's not part of the game awards. I feel it's a mixture of either games thinking that they don't exactly need to be there because they're good on their own, because that type of stuff costs money, right? And I'm sure Keeley's taxing to allow anything else in that he didn't kind of think of on his own, or his community um didn't think of up on their own, right? So I think there's a little bit of that, but at the same time I think some of the winds of shit kind of been flowing, and some people are just kind of like, this is getting a little too political. This isn't really why I'm gaming. You're not really representing everybody. You're representing what you find necessary to represent.
That's it right there. Yep.
And to me, it's literally what we just got done talking about with Florida State. You're representing what you call good. The resume means nothing. The body of work means nothing. It's who you like
Right.
that means everything. So I feel like some of these companies are like, yo, I ain't kissing your fucking ass. I'm not gonna kiss your ass. You didn't approach me, I ain't approaching you either. We're just gonna keep it like it is. We're gonna do our own damn things. And think about a game like Grand Theft Auto. Through its entire history, it's been scrutinized how for how crazy it's been, right? You look at the way they treated Hogwarts this year about somebody that didn't have anything to even do with the
Do
game.
with the game, right? Right.
And they said that that's snubbed. Okay. Well, GTA ain't, Rockstar ain't going to kiss your ass at all. They're just going to put it out there. They already know everybody wants to see it. Hell, somebody rushed your stage wanting to see it, right?
Right.
They already know they're living rent free in your head, so they're just going to go ahead and do what they got to do. To me, I just really don't think that a lot of people feel the need to have to do the Game Awards. We seen it last year with Xbox, right? They didn't feel the need to have to do it, although I wasn't too happy that they weren't there. I'm sure some Rockstar fans are like uncertain that they're there, so they're a little, you know, not completely pleased because maybe they won't get the in depth that they thought that they could get with a Jeff Keighley or something like that. Because I know sometimes he likes to go a little deep with it, put like the music in the background.
Right, right, right.
I'm sure somebody thought like there's going to be a big performance with GTA being shown off at the Keighley show, but that's not what's happening, right? They're going a totally different route. So I I personally think that just some people are just kind of shrugging their shoulders at it and looking at it like this is kind of a I'm not saying PlayStation. This has nothing to do with PlayStation when I say this, but they just ain't into the whole pony show. They just don't care about that. They're
Right,
there to sell you a game. They're there to get you hyped, and they don't want mediocre hype brought to their platform from like a Keeley or just something that's just breezed over really fast. They want to give you the meat and potatoes of what they got to show. And maybe there's just not enough time to do that in the Game Awards, nor do they want to pay for that, nor do they want to pander for it. There's just like there's just a lot of different things that you have to do to get over to to being allowed to show your stuff off at a place like the Game Awards. And as I said earlier in the conversation, I think it's incredible. It's probably incredibly expensive. Think about just E3 back in the day, how expensive some of those stuff.
oh
So
yeah,
some of the
oh
stuff
yeah.
was for them to not only just be there, but also to have like kiosks and stuff like that. Like it was all over the news about how bad and expensive E3 was, and I'm sure it's not crazy cheaper with Keeley, especially at an event like this
Right,
where it's supposed to be like the gaming Oscars pretty much.
right, yeah.
Like,
Even though he
nah,
says he does
nah.
not want to have like the gaming Oscars, I don't know if you heard him have that interview.
Who said
Uh,
that?
Jeff Keighley, he was in an interview and when people were asking about like how
He
about
said he doesn't wanna have a gaming Oscars? Well, he's doing a bad job.
well, yeah,
If
no,
he
no, that's the
doesn't if
yeah,
he doesn't
that's what
want
he
that,
said.
he's doing a bad job.
Yeah, yeah. He said he don't want the VGAs to become the gaming Oscars because people were asking questions of like why you don't have best writers or best like supporting artists or and things like something that I think that it
No,
would
we
be
just have 10 categories for esports that nobody cares about or knows any of the names of the
right.
people.
Content creator of the year. Great. Yes, that's just have them come to the show for free. Let them come up there and do a random how like they do like with celebrities that come up there and they tell you which game is going to win or whatever. Which game is nominated, and then they read out the card of which game is
Yeah,
going to
I
win.
think that would be phenomenal.
That
They're
would
the
that
best content creators, right? Well, then bring them to the stage and have them
had
announce
them
who
read off.
won and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
do that, and then people are going to say, "Who is that?" And then have their profile somewhere under their name and let people know what they do, and then that's perfect. But then having to have a sit down with a content creator, and you're taking away more opportunities for people that is deserving to get these awards and to have more nominations that make sense instead of like you saying like 10 different esports different and esports is important. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that like it's too much filler, and instead of getting right to the meat potatoes of what we need to do, and then you lack something in the show that kind of, and I've said this many of times, where you kind of shit on some of the industry's biggest titles, like the sports and racer category that you just bunch in together, kind of like just that's a throwaway. Because like you said, Ham, they don't particularly look at those guys. They kind of like they get all bougie. You know what I'm saying? Like they put their pinkies up when they drink their tea. Like no, those games don't need to get acknowledged. But those sports games are always in the top 10, top 5, every year. They are the lifeblood of the industry. They should have the right to have one of those titles. If it's Madden, if it's FIFA, well, it's not FIFA anymore, but the soccer games, MLB The Show, NBA 2K, and whatever else that sports have the right to get out there to get known, and then separate the racers category, because there's some great racers that came out this year. Why is it that you're not gonna, why do you separate those like that? And it just blows my mind that, supporting actors and actresses, or voice actors, however you want to pronounce it, like the controversy that's going on for the game of the year with, in regards to Resident Evil 4 remake. There was 15 remakes that came out this year alone. They should have had a category for that. But then he was asked that question, and he kind of made that, well, because Dead Space doesn't, I don't even think Dead Space is nominated for anything. I don't know. I haven't checked all the nominations because I was already checked out once I heard, not because Starfield wasn't there, but not because of High Five Rush not being there. It's the fact that you took out Hogwarts. That's the thing that bothers me more than anything. And like you said, the person that they're trying to go after has nothing to do with the game, and so much so that the game devs put a transgender character in the game to let you know we ain't following behind of what the person who writes the book says. We're making this game, not her. And then my one point that got a lot of stands pissed off was basically saying, like, if you're talking about controversy, then why the hell and how the hell did The Last of Us 2 get nominated and win Game of the Year after the controversy was so crazy from the media talking about crunch? It changed the industry, and you still allowed Naughty Dog to do what they did and then let them win Game of the Year. So if you're talking, so if we want to talk about which is the bigger controversy, the stuff that happened in Naughty Dog was a controversy. Not only the stuff, the leaks, but then you also had the crunch situation. Oh, we'll be damned about the whole situation with people overworking and not getting paid properly or getting mistreated at the job. We're going to sit there and give you the middle finger, media. We're going to make sure that The Last of Us wins and gets nominated. But Hogwarts, nah. The biggest single player game, and I think Call of Duty is finally overtaking it. I don't know yet, but it's still, if it's not the number one game, it is the number one single player game in 2023. And there's no question that game should not be a nominee. That infuriates me. It makes me so pissed off that game did not get in there, because it's a good quality title. A lot of people enjoyed it. And it was also a game that came out when everything was looking kind of lackluster except for High Five Rush. And High Five Rush was looked at like a little small title because it was a shadow drop. But the big name games that was coming out, they were disappointments. So I don't know, Ham. I don't know how you felt about that, but I just think that it's ridiculous.
I'm still trying to get over what you just said about Keeley not wanting it to be like the Oscars. I'm still trying to get over that, because one of the people that they had that won an award last year, that being Christopher Judge, was out there for 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
Doing his speech. And guess what Keeley did? Come on back. He told him to come on back, and now you are reading off the awards to somebody else. And I'm just like, so you're not trying to have this like the Oscars, but the person that had an Oscar moment of anybody last year, you invite right back. Like it to me, it just, like I said, this is just a popularity contest. And really, it's not about how good the games are. It's about the recognition of being recognized,
right,
while having some sort of specific, like, kind of bias, or like, oh yeah, you rock with me, I rock with you, so you come back. We're not we're not going to bring anybody new to the stage. Just like we're not going to bring any new games to be like rewarded. so to say. So I'm talking about like new IPs, not like sequels. I'm just saying, if you look at some of these like some of these uh awards, and you look at the list of games that are in them, some of them look copy and paste this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like there were so many games that came out this year that you guys had to like copy and paste some of these, like like look at game of the year and then look at like best action best action adventure game. It's damn near the
It's
same exact
it's
thing.
lazy. Yeah, it was absolutely
And
lazy.
then on top of it, they have some of these reward or not reward, but like award announcements that are damn near the exact same award. They have an award for best action, but then they have an award for best action adventure. And it's just like, hold on a second, isn't that pretty much the same damn thing?
Yeah, it is. It is. No, I mean, it just blows my mind. Like, I just think the not. That's why when I watch for what they're doing, for the announcements and for
They don't
and
represent every genre either.
no, they don't.
Like I said,
They don't.
it's a popularity
It's a
contest. You
popularity
represent
contest. It just
RPGs, action adventure, or sports and racing. You jam together,
yeah,
and then
no,
there's a ton of other genres that are just like, forget about it.
yeah.
How about best RTS of the year? Where's that at?
But no, that's
There's
what
a
I'm saying.
few
Right,
RTSs.
right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if that's the case, like if you want to put Boulder's Gate in there with RPGs or with I mean, it's just like you said, it's so many things that they could add there's so many things that they could take away, but they don't. They want to try to be a
Take
shock and
away is
awe.
what I'm saying. Take
Yeah. But
away.
yeah, you can take away. Like, you don't have to have 5 or 6. Well, they don't. They used to have that, but you don't have to have 3 musical acts. Just have one. Have one musical act for a little intermission and keep it. And
At
then
halftime.
like halftime, and then go ahead and then have your musical act for the end of the rewards, because I do like that. I think that's pretty cool when they have the orchestra play each theme song for the nominees for Game of the Year. I think that's cool. But another thing that bothers me too is that the media will come out here and they will tell you, they will scold you for saying that they are not a part of the console war. This was the perfect opportunity to show everybody in gaming, from the casuals to the people like us that sit here and follow this stuff to no end, to sit here and show gaming and represent it to its highest capacity by having having one game represented from the big 3. It didn't have, like I said, it didn't have to be Starfield. It's been High Five Rush. You know how much I care for High Five Rush. And you put 2 Nintendo games in there? And the more and more that we hear about Mario Wonder, how fun it is, but the more people that have played it and beat it, they're like, nah, this game shouldn't be up here for Game of the Year. This game, it's good. Don't get it twisted, but this should not be up there for Game of the Year. But you put 2 Nintendo games in there, exclude the biggest title in Hogwarts Legacy, and then you don't add to it when you have Microsoft that had one of its best years in recent memory, and not put Starfield or High Five Rush. It wouldn't have mattered if, you know what I'm saying. It's all about at least having
And the remake.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. And then you put in a remake. You take out Hogwarts Legacy, put in a remake. You don't put it. You add another Nintendo game when the slate is so huge. Like, there's so many good games that came out this year, and you couldn't put an Xbox game or Hogwarts back in there. Like, to me, it's like, if you wanted to represent gaming like you say you want to, then there should have been no question about that. That's fine that Spider-Man got in there, or Final Fantasy 16. I would have had no problem with that. Because PlayStation should have been represented, and it did with Spider-Man, and that's fine. Nintendo should be represented with Zelda. That's fine. Hogwarts Legacy should have been there, and then it should have been either Starfield or High Five Rush. It's just that simple. And I would not have been, and I would have, and all I'm saying in the sense of it, because even if Starfield did get in, right? Starfield should not have won and be Zelda, Baldur's Gate, or in my opinion, I might say even Alan Wake 2 since I've been playing more of it. But it should be a nominee. There's no question. There should be no question. But to me, now, if you change that and put High Five Rush, then I'm saying, hey, man, Zelda, High Five Rush, Baldur's Gate. That's how much I love High Five Rush. High Five Rush is that game for me. Like, it's that game for me. I like High Five Rush more than Starfield, just only because of the shock value that I was not expecting this game to be that good. And that long, that detailed, that not broken. High Five Rush was everything to me. Like that was an amazing game. But again, I just look at this and you know, and even if you didn't want to, and even like I'm saying, like it just doesn't make any sense why you want to separate and make it more divisive if you claim that you don't want it to be. I don't know him. It just seemed like it was perfect sense it was the perfect storm to do that for the award, for the nominees for Game of the Year this year, to kind of just give the middle finger to all the console war fanboys, girls out there that just always wants to say the same bullshit every year, and now you're just helping them doing it by avoiding making saying thank you to the industry for bringing out a lot of good quality games. I don't know, man. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So, I'll watch, but nominees and shit like that, I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care who wins. I don't care who loses now.
No. And that's why I said I'm still excited for this week because there's still a lot to cover other than who won what award. I'm really looking forward to the trailers and I mean, I've seen it myself on my own Xbox. Like how Xbox will have like next to the store will have like the 3 buttons under it.
Yeah.
They've been saying for like the last like 5, 6, 7 days, make sure that you tune into the Game Awards on the Xbox itself.
Yeah.
And then I've recently seen it as well on the Xbox app on PC, where I'll have like its own square saying like tune into the Game Awards with the date and everything, and it's like a link straight to it, right? And I'm just like, yo, Xbox is trying to show out.
Yeah.
They didn't say check out the Game Awards last year on any of the Xbox on any of the platforms that have Game Pass or anything like that, right? So I'm really interested as to what they could be showing. A lot of people are thinking that it is gonna be something like my opinion, I'm thinking like Hellblade. Others I've heard some say Fable and Indiana Jones. What are some games, since I feel like we're kind of moving to a different topic?
Yeah, we are.
What are some games that you would like to see? Not games that you're sure or you really think they're going to be there, but what are some games that you would like to see that you think are far enough into production to be shown off at the Game Awards?
Hellblade 2, so they can finally show the combat, and so people can shut up because they doing too much whining about combat, ain't show no combat. Yeah, calm down. They're going to put the combat in the game. My God, it's like I was trying to explain to people before. Relax. It's not Hellblade 2's time to show all that. It's other games that needs to be represented. Like, Starfield just dropped. And then the stuff with Killer Instinct. And then just like everything else that's in between, you'll see more little things that they'll show about like the creativity part of Hellblade. And then I'm looking and reading comments and DMs and other things. There's no combat yet. The game ain't coming out until sometime next year. Relax. Let them present it in a bigger way than just showing a snippet of Senua kicking the shit out of somebody in the head and then maybe doing a leg sweep on top of that. Like, chill. Like, I mean, there's so much more to the game than just the combat. But yeah, I do want to see that. I kind of want to see more of Avowed. Because I'm not fully sold on Avowed yet. I know there's a lot of people that's talked about how much they're anticipating it. I kind of put that in like what I did with Starfield in the very beginning when Starfield was first being shown. I'm like, y'all they should have showed us a door. You got to show me more. I don't know what's going on in this game. You're talking about game of the generation, game of this, game of that. Yeah, you got to show me more. And then when they did the big reveal, then that's when I was like, oh, now this is interesting. Now I'm on board. So I need to see more of Avowed. Because it does look like a game that I can sink my teeth into. I just need to see more of that. I kind of want to get some of these games that we've seen that we haven't heard about in the last couple of years. Like, what was that? Oh, now see, I can't even think of the name of it. The game that looked like big old mechs fighting other mechs out there.
Armored Core?
No, it was like Exo
Exo Mecha?
Exo Mecha. Yeah, like what happened with that? There's a what happened with that? Like I would like to see if I would like to know if there's anything that's going on with see, like it's been so long, so now I'm forgetting the name of these games. The game from Rare that when we first showed it, it looked beautiful, but then it got put on ice for a little bit because they had to redo it, had to rework it. I wanted to see if they're doing anything. Give us an update on stuff. If the game is not ready, it's not ready. Xbox got enough games coming out now that they can let them cook. That's one thing I do not want to see anymore is them rushing anything else. Let it cook. You got plenty of content now to let it just cook and just take its time. Everwild, I think that's what it was called.
Everwild. There's a few games, right?
Yeah.
Everwild. There's what's that one? That zombie game I'm thinking of.
Oh, State of Decay.
State of Decay.
State of Decay 3. Yeah.
Yeah, State of Decay 3 with
I don't think we're going to see that until 2025, 2026. I think that they're still working on that pretty.
Contraband.
Yeah.
Haven't seen anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's and those are just games off the top of my head. Whatchamacallit, Flintlock is supposed to be coming out this summer.
Yeah. No, yeah, Flintlock. Yeah, it looked good. I can't wait. Can't wait for that.
So, I mean, I think we might actually see Flintlock at the Game Award.
You could.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially seeing that they're in Game Pass, and I think Xbox would be happy to show it off. That they're getting that game in there.
Absolutely.
I mean, they already said that they're getting that game in there a while back, and I believe it was at the Game Awards where they said that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'd be great to see that re-shown, and maybe they did a little extra touching up on it to make it look even better than it did before, because they took pretty much like it's supposed to come out last year, this year, I believe.
Supposed to come out this year,
and they were like radio silent. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of things that they did to improve upon the game, because that's obviously what they were doing.
Yeah, no, I'm going here and then who they say all the Final Fantasy games come into Game Pass. Yeah, I think since PlayStation still has the lock on the Final Fantasy like remake games, we'll find out, because I mean Square Enix did shorten the length of the exclusivity rights, so it's only like for 3 months. So before it comes to PC, so then we'll see after that what happens. I don't know if there's going to be a continuation, if there's one more game that's going to be coming after Rebirth, or is there going to be, or that's it. I have no idea.
Do you think I got another question for you?
Yeah.
Do you think that they're possibly driving people to go to the Game Awards and check it out? And here is a theory that I want you to try to either turn into reality or debunk.
Okay.
Do you think that they're driving people to go watch the Game Awards because Baldur's Gate 3 is launching in the Game Pass?
That could be. Oh my goodness, that would be mass. And what would be so sweet about that is the fact that because people are still asking, that there's not as many people, because now the PlayStation stance is now showing their true colors. They didn't give a damn about the game. They just wanted to brag about it because of its accolades, right? But they didn't support it, and neither did the people that didn't even know about Baldur's Gate. They didn't support it on PlayStation. But the best way to do that, if Xbox fears, or if the company that makes Baldur's Gate fears, well, we put it on console, it might not get a lot of traction. Put it on Game Pass. That's going to get people to come and try it out. So yeah, that would be massive. That I don't know. That you might be onto something. You might be onto something. That would be because if the whole if it was legitimate about the situation that was going on with the S, which I'm not saying that these people were lying about it. Most likely, it probably was a problem with what they were trying to figure out with the Series S. But while this
Yeah, the
time was going on,
multiplayer.
yeah, with the multiplayer aspect of it. So if the situation was basically like, well, since they needed this more time, then maybe that somebody was brainstorming at Xbox and was like, hey man, how about we add this to Game Pass? If they do that, that is a massive move. A massive move. That's a pretty wild theory. I'm not even gonna hate you on that one. Drawn T in the chat. Thank you so much, man, for the support. He says, I want to see State of Decay 3 and possibly Forza Horizon, or because I mean, man, no, Forza Horizon probably won't be shown. I don't think it's, if anything in
No, Fable is
2024.
in the way right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna show a
Yeah, yeah.
Horizon game over something else that they're currently working on where it's kind of out of order.
Right.
I
And
mean, maybe they would I feel like the only thing they would maybe announce on Forza, if they're thinking about doing a Forza 6 or if they're in the process of it, would be nothing more than really maybe a splash screen, or maybe a car driving by and just say Forza Horizon 6 or
yeah,
something like that. I don't see them showing like any sort of
no.
gameplay, especially seeing that Forza Motorsport just came out and Forza Horizon 5 is, I believe, still doing just fine.
Oh, it's doing great. Yeah, I think it was saying it was over 30 some million players now. So let it cook. Let Horizon cook and give and give. That's what I'm saying. Like Xbox doesn't no longer need to rush.
Halo, Gears, and Forza. That
Yeah.
yeah.
They don't need to rush. Like I was seeing people last week, I believe it was last week or the week before last, where people were talking about, oh man, I can't wait to hear about Gear 6. It's going to be at the VGAs. And okay, if they do show something about Gear 6, but why, remember,
I doubt it though.
yeah, I mean, I doubt it too. Let them cook. We don't think you're going to have Hellblade 2, Stalker 2, um, Avowed, potentially maybe Fable, and maybe there is something from and maybe even Indiana Jones. If you got those 5 games dropping, plus the games that's going to be coming on Game Pass, you have another 2023 where you're and actually maybe a higher level tier in the sense of like accolades. Those games getting accolades and getting more praise than what Starfield and High Five Rush did, because we have to not talk about the game that should not be talked about until it's completely correct, and that is Redfall. But
Time is finite as well. This isn't an Xbox showcase.
right,
This
right,
is
right, right,
the Game Awards. So they're only going to have like anywhere between like 3 to 5 things to show off.
right,
So it's going to be things, in my opinion, that are on the way, not things that are like
right around the
5
corner.
years out.
Yeah,
Like they may show one of those 5 games that's out there. But it's
right.
not going to be like, you're not going to see Gear 6 and then see Forza Horizon 6
Yeah,
and
no,
then see
absolutely not.
something like way like Perfect Dark. They're not going to have those like 3 there. It may be one. Like it might just be Perfect Dark, or it might just be Gear 6, or for John TJ's sake, it might just be Forza
Mhm.
or something like that. But it's not going to be like this just vomit of video games from Xbox. They're going to keep it real direct. They're going to try to get your attention, in my opinion, the way that they should have been trying to do it for a hot minute. And they're going
Right,
to advertise one game and then remind you that it's going to be in Game Pass. And that's the way I want Xbox to advertise their games going forward. It's cool when to me, it's just fine when they have a compilation and then say it's all in Game Pass, come play. But in my opinion, unless you're a gamer, seeing that compilation means a whole lot of nothing. Right? So if you focus in on one game and say, this is why this is awesome, this is when it's coming out, this is how you should expect to play it in Game Pass, that's way more direct and that puts a lot more coverage on that specific game. In return, I feel like you would see a lot more people jumping on to play that game and then noticing the other games that are there compared to just saying we have 400 games and here's a compilation of 2 seconds of every single one of them. And then it's just like, I don't know what the hell you just showed me.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, that's the one thing also too that I agree with you with that is that Xbox needs to also add a Game Pass show.
Oh my goodness, that'd be phenomenal.
I've said that as well. Like
It's
Game
a great
Pass,
idea.
yeah, Game Pass is in a position now to where it's solidified. It's the cream of the crop when it comes to subscriptions. It just drops games out of nowhere like Remnant 2. Yeah, like what? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and it's play anywhere. So if you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I found that out as well when I was gonna, I don't know if I told you because I think I was busy doing something. I had to run and go take the trash out before, because if I forgot, then we would have all this trash and I wouldn't know what to do with it. So I was like, oh yeah, but yeah, I didn't know that it was game play anywhere, because when I went to the Xbox app on my PC, I was like, oh, that's dope, you know. So because I always wanted to get the PC version of it because I got the Xbox version, and but yeah, and so is the crossplay already on Remnant 2 yet, or they're still working?
Yes, it
on
is.
that?
Yes, it is. No,
Oh,
no, I was
let's
playing it last
go.
night with Matt and Vinny, and
All
we were
right.
running through a few of the bosses. And Matt was playing on PC, I was playing on Series S, and Vinny was playing on the Series X.
Yeah.
So
So
we
yeah.
had the whole family.
So how many players can be on there? 3 or 4?
I think it's only 3. I could be wrong,
Damn.
but I think it's only
All
3.
right. So people who
But
want to play some, what's call it, man, hit me up, man, because I need to. I started it, but
absolutely.
yeah, I need to get into that. I really want to get into it because it was
If you want to
dope when
play
I
later
played.
tonight, just holler at your boy. I'd love to try it out on PC. I haven't even got to try it on
Oh,
PC
let's do
yet.
that then. Let's do that.
I've
Let's
tried
do
it
that.
on everything, or I've tried it on my Series S and Series X. I have yet to try it on my PC or Steam Deck, and those are the
Okay.
2 other places I wanted to try it on.
Okay. All right. Let's read what John T said, man. Thank you for the support again, brother. He said, I'm going to blow your mind. This is a theory. What if they announce they are buying from software and try? There he
Oh
goes with the
Lord!
buying. There's where he goes with the buying. That man wants to acquire
Every time, TJ. Every
every
time.
time, TJ, you always he always wants somebody to buy something. He said, I'm buying from software. Let me read it again. He says, I'm going to blow your mind. This is a theory. What if they announce they are buying from
It's
software
blown.
and they announce a trailer for a new Mechasaw? Listen, TJ, I can't keep co-signing all these acquirements, man. Sega from software. From my perspective, what
Square
Xbox needs is
Enix.
yeah, Square Enix. Well, that's not my perspective, but yeah, also Square Enix. Also, but for me, CD Projekt Red, Warner Brothers, Xbox can't get them all, brother. The only thing they can do with the Max is go ahead and just work out some deals. I think the whole Sega thing is. I know that people still bring up stuff to make think that Sega might. I just don't think that's going to happen. I would love to see CD Projekt Red get got. That would mean everything to me and Warner Brothers. But I think even the Warner Brothers thing might be out of the loop. But what's not out the loop is Xbox going ham and going into and going hitting up Embracer Group and getting some of those studios from them, especially getting Crystal Dynamics. That would be fantastic if they could get them. Maybe even snag. I mean, there's so many studios there. Like, I mean, think about this. Xbox could go ahead and get the studio that made Saints Row. and bring Saints Row back, but bring it back to the glory days of what it was when you had Saints Row 1 and 2. So that way you can go ahead and you're not going to compete against Grand Theft Auto, but you can have your own type of game like that. Or maybe if you didn't even want to go with the Grand Theft Auto, a Grand Theft Auto style type. Well, let me take that back. Like what Saints Row. Maybe you want to try to see if that studio can bring a game that was kind of similar to oh man, what was that game that was set in Asia? Oh my goodness, that was set in China. Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs. What if you try to bring some Sleeping Dogs back? That would be great. That would be great. Because the combat in the game was not bad at all. It was just everything else. The game was broken in Saints Row. The game was broken. It was trying to be too damn funny. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It was just a miss. But the combat was great. The damn assassinations were out of this world when they worked. But yeah, I don't know. I need to go back and I need to play that to see if they. I know they patched it up, but I don't know how much they patched. Do you got that game, him Saints Row?
No.
Okay. Because I would go back. Because me and Don was playing it there for a minute, and I couldn't do it. Because my boy Yobi gifted it to me and for my birthday. And, you know, I like to beat my games that people will gift me and support me with and stuff. But I couldn't do it. I was like, man, until this game gets patched all the way, I'll come back to it. Because I'm already annoyed by not by the voice actors, but just by the writing of the game, because it was just too goofy. They were trying to be too funny. And I'm like, man, this is time. Let's be a little thuggish in this. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to be what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? It was almost like a Nickelodeon rated R show game. Like, what is this? Come on, man. Oh my God. But yeah, I don't know, Drawn T. I can't co-sign that one. Here's another one from Drawn T. He said, buy CD Projekt Red, then buy 50% of Warner Brothers and buy it from software, and the smaller studios will be done. Nah, man. You can't get all that. You can't get all that. You can't. I don't. Because then what will happen is that the media is already turning against Microsoft as it is, or Xbox, I should say, because of what they did with ABK. You also forget about all the games that ABK has within them. You know what I mean? So yes, From Software would be, all three of those would be fantastic, right? Like, but you can only maybe if it's impossible, because it also these companies want to be acquired. Let's get that out the way. CD Projekt Red is for me number one, and Warner Brothers would be number two. From Software, yes, they have great, but all you get to do is just work deals with them. Remember that Activision had the publishing right. Well, was the publisher for Sereco, or I can't talk today. It's been a long time since I've done some podcasting, so let me be country. How you say that game's name? Sereco. The game From Software.
You
You
Sekiro?
Sekiro, thank you. God dang. This is what happens when you don't do podcasts for almost 3 weeks. Anyway, but so that game, just publish it, get the game on Game Pass, you solid. Just like with the stuff with Sega. Just keep working out, like with the stuff that you're doing with Sega, putting more games on Game Pass. You good. You don't have to acquire Sega. You just, what I'm saying, just have a good, strong relationship with Sega, have a good, strong relationship with Square Enix, and you're golden. I think that if you're going to get get something from the East, get something from Korea, from one of those developing companies in Korea, or go after somebody like Koei Tecmo, somebody like that. I just don't see the whole purpose now of trying to go after Sega, even though as much as we are Dreamcast fans or Sega Genesis fans, or Sega fans in general, they have a good working relationship now. So let that happen. Just let that process play itself out. I would like to see Warner Brothers, but My whole thing is like, man, look, if it's between Crystal Dynamics or CD Project Red, I'm gonna say CD Project Red. But if you get Crystal Dynamics, I'm not gonna be mad about that. Like, and then, you know, just let it ride out. They got plenty of studios right now, man. They got so many, so many. Oh yeah, John T said True Crimes, but no, it was I was thinking of Sleeping Dogs. But True Crimes could be another one too. And didn't Activision have some, got True Crimes?
Yeah, Activision did True Crimes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, what's going on with you, Michael Turner? What's happening with you? He said, and who they said the media won't exist soon. Now that part is very true. The media as we know it will not exist. You already seen the stuff with Game of Sutra, and all those other studios like Metro, I believe, and them. They're looking for a buyer. All these layoffs. It's gotten tragic. This is something that definitely me and Don's going to talk about in Devin the Gamer next week. But I need to pick your brain on this one too, Ham. When it comes to just the media and then the problems that it seems to that's going on with a lot of the media now. Of course, IGN is the biggest media gaming media outlet out there, so I don't see them caving anytime soon. But from where the media used to be to where the gaming media is now, I don't know if people really trust the media the way that they used to back then. I don't know. Do you trust the media when you read articles and stuff like that now? Because it's so clickbaity. Like it's like it's turned into something to where when you used to read a headline, that headline meant something. Now it's like, oh man, I got to go through this article to read what you're trying to say, but because you came with that clickbait bullshit, I am not going to read it because you're desperately asking me to read your shit. And when it comes down to it, it's the headline is not going to be anything of what you wrote into that article. And for me, that's just that's BS. I don't know. What do you think about this whole situation with the media?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I was off. I was off the road right there.
Oh no, that's all right. It's all right. All right. So basically, with the media situation, is it that they're going through some troubles or whatever? The clickbait stuff that's going on, is it like that does show signs of desperation in my opinion, like and if you order, it's just like no different than a content creator when they always coming out with these oh, this game is dead,
Mhm.
or this that, like all that type of stuff to get people to watch just to see if it, because everybody loves a train wreck. It looks like the media has been going that direction. Is there a way that the media can ever get back to where they were, or is it just like what who they said is like the media is going to be wiped out here and it's going to be replaced by AI, or just not be anything of what we used to get when we were younger?
No, you can forget about that now.
Okay.
You can forget about that now because it's all about just garnering clicks, and everyone's gonna try to beat the next person
Yeah.
to the next click, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not just gonna all of a sudden change up your whole like think about it a little bit in sports terms, right? Your bread and butter is the run game. Why the hell would you just start passing it when you know everybody else knows how to run their offense the way it's supposed to be ran? So so I'm using like IGN or GameSpot or Metro as as an example in this case. You know you get clicks by saying this kind of stuff, being messy. And you know that historically you didn't get the same amount of clicks when you were just kind of plain Jane, honest, normal. Do you think the media cares enough about you to switch up their to switch up their style to benefit your happiness? They don't give a shit about your happiness
No, they do not.
ever. They don't care. They want to see, just like any other business, they want to see themselves in the green. They want to look good monetarily. They don't care about how you feel. So if they're getting majority of their money by being messy, why the hell would they clean up?
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you knew you got, I mean, to me, asking IGN to be what they should be is like asking, to be honest, a drug dealer to get a regular job. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's
Right.
like asking yo bro on the corner that's making grand after grand to just be okay with $600 at the corner store and doing it legit.
Ain't happening.
They might give it a try. And then after they see that first check, they're like, no, 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 no,
Nah,
no. We
man,
gotta
back
go
on the
back to old
block.
shit.
Back on the block.
Exactly.
back in the trap, boy. Back on the block, boy. Back to cooking. We back in the kitchen. Ain't man, hell no. I'm gonna be smelling like pickles for a week because we back in the kitchen, Jack. I'm over here getting this $600 check. I can make that in 4 minutes. Man, get the bruh back. Man, I'm like feeding pickles because I'm cooking so much. You got me. Hell no. I'm on the block.
So
On the
you see
block.
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, bro.
You see
Yeah,
exactly what I'm.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
the
No
hell would
way.
you switch up your?
Mm-mm.
Why would you play with your pockets like that?
Right.
The best thing that the best thing that IGN or anybody could really do at this point is make something on the side, because they're gonna have to keep doing what they did. Well, they're gonna have to keep doing what they've been doing to continue that, algorithm and stuff like that, right? You can't switch up the narrative now, but what you can do is open up another office or another business and give it a whole different name and have them be legitimate. That's really the only thing that you can do. You're still going to get backlash, though, because they're going to be like, oh, this company's owned by Ziff. But if that company owned by Ziff is actually making sense, then they can go on their own route compared to trying to make sense of IGN at this point. Here we are midway in the third quarter, and now you're going to change your entire game? No, that's not how it's going to work, especially if you win in the game already. Why the hell would you switch? I know if I was a business owner, if I owned IGN, I'm gonna keep it an absolute buck with you. If
Yeah.
I owned IGN, I'd be like, keep doing what you're doing.
Right. Right.
I'm
Right.
making that Skrilla. I don't give a damn about how an Xbox guy feels. I don't give a damn about how a
Facts.
Nintendo person feels. I'm
Facts.
in this to make money, not to make people feel good. That's just
That's
basic
reality.
business.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's
mean,
just a basic business.
and that's the scary thing about AI as well, because who's controlling the AI? You know what I mean? Like the AI has got to be programmed to do something. So it's not. We're not at the point where the AI is thinking for itself yet. We'll get there, but the initial part of when this does eventually happen, where AI is going to start pretty much taking over a lot of like media and certain things, who's going to be controlling those the puppet strings? And so you're still going to have that problem, I feel, until eventually might get some more absolute balance within it. Because the one thing that you did say, Ham, was absolutely 100% correct, is about feeling good about gaming. Sometimes when you read these articles, you just feel dirty. Like, what, bro? What? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why are you even writing this if you're not happy with anything that's in game? You know what I'm saying? And it's not like it's just one article. It's multiple, where it's more complaining than it is happiness. And then that kind of resonates what goes on when on social media from when you're hearing people complain all the damn time. Like, I'm like, well, why are you gaming? If you're so dissatisfied with what's going on with gaming right now, why are you still gaming? That's why I separate the two. Like, when I'm coming here to play a game that it's been labeled as trash and it's no good, and I'm over here having a blast, I laugh sometimes when I'll go and I'll look and I'll see some comments about, or I'll go on Reddit or something like that, and then I'm looking and I'm seeing people that's over here that has a feed about certain games, but then they're always complaining. I'm like, well, what the hell are you playing this game for? Go on to the next one. Because I'm over here like, I'm enjoying myself, and there's times, yeah, you'll play something and then you're like, man, this could have been better, that could have been better. But then at the most part, at the core, if I'm enjoying myself and I'm immersed into that world, into that game, into whatever it is, then that it's done its job. It's got me involved into it. It's got me in its clutches, and that's what the game was meant to do, was to be fun. Like, for instance, like, you see this gameplay of Deadpool, right? If this game came out today, right? Yeah, it would have initial hype before the game came out, but I guarantee you, when the game came out, it would be some people there, some articles dropping of where they couldn't stand it because there was something that was missing that they thought that should have been there. And then here comes the pity party parade coming in here and following suit, talking about how the game is this. And then you got content creators because like you said, it's about the money, coming out here, why Deadpool 2024 is dead. What? Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the media has kind of brought to me for a lot. Like, everything is damn near doom and gloom. And when there are good stories, they get overshadowed so much from something that's positive and something that I used to get into when I was reading articles and going through the magazines and stuff like that. It's like, you know, I don't get it. I mean, well, I get it. It's money, but it's just like how we were talking about in the beginning of the show and what we talked about last night about how, like, the whole sports situation that's going on with FSU getting snubbed. You know, it's not about like what the accolades of what they did to achieve to go undefeated. It was the situation to where, you know, the media and the people that they want to have high ratings for the playoffs to draw as many people in, as many eyes, so they can make as much money. Hell with those kids that busted their ass to get there. You know, and that's the same thing with, like, these developers. Hell that you busted your ass to get this game out, and yeah, the game is not perfect, but people are having fun playing it. Give them a chance for them to correct some of the wrongs that they've made, and then let's go forward and see if that works or not. And if it doesn't, then scrutinize them. But if it just makes no sense to me. It just not make no sense to me.
I know earlier I said Xbox was kind of reminds me of Florida State, but really, if I'm being honest, it's Hogwarts. Hogwarts is the Florida State.
Oh yeah, Hogwarts is definitely.
They're 100% because it's just like they were on paper. They are the most selling single player game this year, and they've been raved about as being good. And we know why the score was knocked down. We know why some of the score was knocked down, and instead of lifting up the developer, like I feel like a show like the Game Awards should do, you lift up the developers and maybe condemn what J.K. Rowling did. That would be the right thing to do, in my opinion, and say, hey, you guys did a great job. We acknowledge that. Your IP just so happened. Like just be clear. Why are we just going to completely just do this and act like nothing happened, nothing was seen, nothing needs to be talked about? Like that to me is absurd.
No.
It is absurd because I don't know. I don't know how many people within the group that worked over there on Avalanche that worked on Hogwarts were like, hell yeah, J.K. Rowling, you let them know. I don't think there's a whole lot of people
No.
over there that were doing that.
Right.
So, like, in my opinion, it's just like, just acknowledge at least the development and acknowledge that, hey, they brought a great game to the
Mm,
table, and flat out just tell people this is why we couldn't do this, but we wanted to acknowledge you guys because you guys put out a great experience.
right.
I
Right.
feel like that's the right thing to do, even if you don't want to include them in the actual awards for any of the game. Just in my opinion, just the acknowledgement of, hey, you did a great job. You put out the most sold single player game this year is at least something.
Yeah.
Something to let the developers know that, hey, keep doing what you're doing.
And there's something that's in well, I'm going to read Drawn T super chat. I'm going to read it after I read this from the Husky Hage, Tage, whatever. Sorry, Husky
Hokage.
Hage. Yeah, sorry, bro. It's just one of those days. Uh, but he said exactly because Redfall has been patched and no one has talked about it. And that's the thing too. And that goes back to the Game Awards where they have the most continued games or ongoing games, whatever that category is. And
Hold on, K Mega. IGN did talk about it, but you know what they said?
what they say?
They said Redfall's update comes, but without it playing offline. So
That's right. That's
so
right. I
they
think I did see that.
mentioned it, but they had to stab him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And right there is the tax that people be talking about.
Right. And going back to even to that, which is crazy. I do remember them saying that. There was also articles that said, well, the patch came a little bit too late, right? If you got a game that's going to be an ongoing type of game, and my whole point was Sea of Thieves, because Sea of Thieves was bare bones when it first came out. That game is got more players than most of the games that they tout about, if not all of them, except for for some of the on games, like you got Apex, you got and another game too, Warframe. Warframe. If people played Warframe in 2013 when I played it, and then you go and you try to play it now, it is a complete different game. And there's people that was even saying like in the middle of last gen that how much it was better than Destiny because of the content that it was having. Now it is even like light years away. But it's just, it's too many games to play. I can't jump on all these games at one time like that. But they don't talk about Warframe. They don't talk about Sea of Thieves. And then again, like you were saying with what Husky was talking about with Redfall, like those are those positive stories, those comeback stories that deserve to be in gaming. You know what I mean? Like, why is it that like when Redfall got the rating that it did and it was deserving? I'm not going to sit there and cap for that game like that. I think it's fun. I thought the game has a lot of potential. It might be too late for it, but the media is making it so apparently so apparent this is you just forget about this game, you bury this game. So kudos for Microsoft to making sure they get it right, but I hope that they still keep going at it to making this game to say, look, you're not going to kill us like that. You're not going to send this game to the grave before it actually gets its full potential to show what this game was worth, what our vision was on making this game. So please keep making it. Please keep adding more patches, keep adding more content. Let people, force it down people's throat in order to the point to where people are going to say, yo, this game is good. You need to jump back on it. Kind of like what you're doing with Halo Infinite, right? The same thing applies. Same thing like what you did with Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves was a 60. Why is it that you don't go back and do reviews for games that when you gave them this 60, let's go back and see if this game is still a 60 or if this game, an 80 now. Like that's the thing of where the media just can't be taken seriously, because if there's certain things that you can do that brings people more together in gaming, then people will believe in your product, your articles and things like that more often. But the more that you keep adding this division, the only people that's going to pay attention to you and give a damn about you are the people that wants to hear the smut, wants to read it, wants to care about it, and eventually it's going to get the people that you're depending on. They're going to turn their back on you too eventually at some point, because you're going to write too damn much. And one time you're going to write that one article that's going to get those people that like the smut, but you're going to make the smut for the wrong game or for the wrong reasons, for whatever reason, and you're going to turn those people off, and then you're going to be in a position where most of the gaming media is at now. So I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. But let me read this super chat from John T. Thank you so much. He says, let Gears developer make a True Crimes Unreal Engine 5 game and let Playground do the Cars GTA clone GTA killer. No, they're GT, bro. Come on, man. Stop it. There is no GT killer, man. There ain't no GTA killer, man. Stop that. It ain't happening. Listen, there was many times, and people, if people that follow me, they know I'm a Battlefield Halo guy. I play COD. I buy COD every year, except I didn't buy Vanguard and I didn't buy the other PUBG style COD, because there was no reason for me. I'm not a PUBG fan like that. But I always try to put the dirt on the grave of Call of Duty. Like, okay, World War II, people ain't playing this game like that. Battlefield 1, here we go. Battlefield, you're ready to take it over. What happened? The COD just is not going to die. COD refuses to die. There's another game that is in that category that refuses to die and will not die. And the reason why I say why it won't die is because people have bought it, me included, have bought a game that's been out for what, 10 years? 3 times. Damn, how many times did you buy Grand Theft Auto 5? How many times did you buy that game again? How many times did you buy it?
Me?
Yeah.
3 or 4 times.
Yeah, 3 times for me. 3 times. And the last time I was like, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. You're not making me pay again. You're not making me. Damn it. It's on sale. I'm copping, bro.
Yeah. They got me for $10 on the.
We'll be back. Hopefully, we'll be reconnected. OBS.
All right. Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah. So, sorry about that, guys. It says it's reconnecting. So yeah, that must be telling us that we need to be almost out of here.
Yeah, I gotta go pick up my daughter here in like 15 minutes anyway.
Not about 15 minutes. Okay, so sorry about that. But anyway, thank you, John T. Yet again. And then I'm looking at what Husky's saying. He's saying he says, how is Sea of Thieves not nominated for best ongoing game at the Game Awards? I don't know. So it's crazy.
There's that Halo. I'm surprised Halo didn't get best community. Like just a nomination in the community one, but somehow Destiny got there. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
doesn't make any
some
sense.
Some of these things within the Game Awards and stuff like that. Like I just question how much their ear is really to the ground.
Oh yeah, no, they're not caring about that. They don't give a damn about that. They have made it clear that how they feel about the general public, they don't care. They let us know. They let us know with these nominations this year. They've let us know before, but we kind of just looked at the situation because of where Xbox was at trying to get back to that. Like, I mean, and it seemed like it was fair because of in 2021 Xbox was Publisher of the Year. Also, Xbox had a nomination with a Psychonauts 2, right? So, okay, all right, good. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. 2022, Xbox didn't deserve to have anything there because they didn't have anything. So that was fair.
X.
You know what I'm saying? That was fair. But then while they gave us Psychonauts 2, which was a multiplat, they snubbed Forza Motorsport 5, which was the highest rated game. And that's what I knew then. I kind of knew beforehand, but that was the writing on the wall. The writing on the wall in 2021. Like, Halo did get nominated for something. It wasn't nominated for Game of the Year or whatever, of course. But you left out the highest rated game And that goes back to what I guess our theme today is underdog, right? Is you left out a game, a racer that got the highest rating than any other game that came out that year, and you just said, nah, it's a racer. Ew, we're not putting that in. And that right there made me see what the VGAs was all about. So I shouldn't be surprised about this, about the VGAs this year, but for some reason they shocked and awed me again. They shocked and awed me again to the point to where now I'm like, I'm checked out. You're still gonna get my view. So I mean, okay. But anything else, so when somebody starts, because even if Xbox clean house, let's say Xbox cleans house at the VGAs, I'm still not going to give a shit from it because you still didn't do right by Xbox by putting the game in the nominee, and you didn't put Hogwarts in there, and when it counted, because there's no way that Mario Wonder should be in there, not by a long shot, not Zelda, of course, and I still think that Zelda is going to win. But yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah. I'm through with that. I just want to see what you got out there, and then nominees. I'll just be chilling and yeah, okay, great. Move on. Move on.
All right, well, we better hit this last one before we leave. And the last topic that I knew that you wanted to talk about was the whole PlayStation
Yeah.
um
Um.
and discovery issue.
Yeah. Right here, I didn't put my little thing up here, so sorry about that. But right here, I'm reading it. Right here, it said it was something that came from PlayStation in my email. And it says, Dear PlayStation customer, as of December 31st, 2023, due to our content licensing agreement with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and the content will be removed from your video library. Click here for the full list of affected titles that will no longer be supported. We certainly thank you for your continued support. Thank you, PlayStation Store. What? Like, I can understand if you saying that you no longer will be providing Discovery content, but you're removing every bit of all the videos that I may have bought. Like somebody posted, like one of the, I think it was VGC posted that there was over 1,300 series from Discovery that was available for PlayStation owners, and they lose it. Like they just take it away without any type of and then you only got and it's not like you can take it and record it or move it around somewhere or whatever. You got less than a month to sit there, and the content that you paid your hard-earned dollars for, it is wiped out. And this right here is why a lot of people get scared about digital content. And I don't know, man. Ham, your thoughts, man. This is foul, and not enough people talking about it.
Yeah, it's it's a shocking thing. I'm not sure. Like, I have kind of two ways of thinking on this one. Like, I'm not sure if I want to completely blame PlayStation for this, but at the same time, I know for a fact that if this was
Oh
Xbox,
my god.
that it would be as if Rome is falling.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like I just have that kind of like mindset walking into this, and I'm just also thinking like this is exactly why I don't buy movies and TV shows off of these gaming devices. Like Xbox offers their own movies and stuff like that, right? PlayStation offers their own movies and stuff like that too. Um yeah, I just don't see the point in like I'm already skittish. I'm skittish enough to be nervous about buying content from Amazon themselves on their app. Why would I want to do a third party one?
Mm,
Well, this tells me right here that I definitely shouldn't. And what I've been doing is right.
right,
Don't do it because any of these companies can lose a contract or buy themselves out of a contract or something like that and just be like, we're done with it.
right.
We don't want to do this anymore. This is one of the big issues that people have with physical being gone. Stuff like this makes the physical argument relevant
Right,
still
right.
because you're like, everyone's like, oh, just buy it digitally. I'm going fully digital. I'm going this. And then something like this happens to where the digital content you purchased is now unavailable. I don't see anybody talking about refunds anywhere.
No. No. That's
So it to me, it's just like when it comes to anything that's third party outside of video games on your video game console, platform, whatever, don't buy it. Find another way to get it. Get it physically if you can, but at the same time, it's just like you should probably use the native app for that service to probably purchase something. And if they don't sell it from their native service, then that's a little bit of a head scratcher, right? Oh, the native service isn't selling it, but PlayStation's selling it. That seems a little wishy-washy. Same thing if it was Xbox. Xbox is selling this, but Discovery themselves aren't doing it. How much do you trust that content now
right.
to stay in your possession? People barely trust the content that they get. The video people barely trust the DRM and stuff like that for the video games that they purchase. But you're cool with buying a movie off of the same exact piece of plastic.
Yeah.
Buying
Uh,
TVs of shows. It's just not a good idea, bro.
man, it is kind of suspect, and I just bought a couple of movies. But see, again, Z Black Rider has made a good point. He says every Xbox movie I purchase gets downloaded into my hard drive. Now, I don't know for the movies that I bought, they are in my hard drive on PlayStation. They are on my hard drive. Um, and there's other outlets, but see, again, this is the part that's suspect is that like okay so for instance I got like I don't know about like 60 movies I bought off of off of Xbox. I got about like maybe 20-25 off of PlayStation. um you got other avenues like you got Voodoo. You can use Voodoo. You can use Movies Anywhere. All of that stuff could be there. But if the home hub is like where you bought them from Xbox, and if they got a contract where it doesn't work, then I guess maybe those movies won't be working on Voodoo or Movies Anywhere. And that's what those are questions that needs to be asked. Now again, I download some games into my movies into my hard drive. I need to just go ahead and do them all. So just to be on the safe side of it. But I wonder if that could have been done for the PlayStation. That part I don't know. But if they, so hopefully for people out there, if you can download them into your hard drive on your PlayStation, do so. On another hard drive, I should say, on like your external.
But my
Um,
question back to you is
yeah.
you say you do have it downloaded onto your hard drive.
hmm
Are you only able to access it through your Xbox? Or can you access it through another means? Like, could you just plug it into your computer and watch it through there? If you cannot, and they pull and take licenses away,
Right. That's the question.
once you plug that sucker into your Xbox and it recognizes what you have, are you still going to be able to play it if they were to take those licenses away?
Now, probably not on your Xbox, but or your PlayStation, but most likely you should be able to play it on your PC or your laptop. You see what I'm saying? Because you have it already. You have that movie data in your external or wherever you got it somewhere else. Your um, USB or whatever the case may be. So that I think you'll be fine with. But for those people out there that just, that bought it, that bought whatever shows from Discovery Plus or whatever the case may be, and they didn't know that information, they just trusted, the source that they got it from, and then it's just wiped out. Like, that's when you was making that point about the digital stuff. Like, yeah, that's what, and I'm an advocate for the digital stuff. Like, I'm mostly all digital. There's very few hard copies I got of anything, except unless it's older games. That's it. But this is the thing that gets people to make these questions, to ask them, to pose these questions, and to say, look, this is why we should always have hard copies of something, and I can't argue with them about it. Not with, and I know this is just maybe movies and television show content, but it can still happen with video games as well. So it's pretty wild. It is pretty wild. You know what I'm saying? We was getting ready to go, but Ham is like saying, "Damn, I'm out already now." I think he has to go and step up because he's about to get ready to get out of here. I just don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah, OneDrive. You got your stuff on OneDrive. You can put it, and yeah, I'm pretty sure you could probably put your PlayStation stuff on OneDrive as well too. And that's a service that you pay for. So, I know we're getting ready to go, Ham, but also Black Rider said that he
Oh, I
puts
got
his
like
stuff
5
on.
minutes. I'm good.
Okay.
I just
He
wanted to grab my keys.
Black Rider said that he's
Automatic
leaving.
start, baby.
Oh, that's right. I got mine too. Where's my key? Oh, there we go. I got mine too in my truck. Yeah, baby. Anyway, yeah, and it's cold. It's cold where you at, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's chilly out there.
It's definitely cold. I don't know what the degrees is outside, but it's cold degrees.
If you see the pants that I'm wearing, the jogging pants that I'm wearing, people be clowning the hell out of me, man. And my big old shoes, I'm comfortable, but I'm comfortable anyway. So, but no, Z Black Rider said he got his stuff on OneDrive. You can't you definitely can put those your PlayStation content into OneDrive.
If it's DRM free, then that's the service right there.
Yeah. So you can do that. You just gotta pay. So the more content that you got into OneDrive, you gotta pay. Because I pay like I think $20 a month for OneDrive. So, but I got a lot of content in there. So you don't have to pay that much. But and if you don't have that much going into it, you can probably just use it for free or maybe $1.99. So anyway, but yeah, no. Anything else that you wanted to add, Ham, to this situation before we get out of here?
One thing I just wanted to duly note about this specific topic that we're on right now is we're clearly seeing Sony slim down.
You're saying Rome is falling?
No, I'm not saying Rome is falling. Okay. I'm saying that all that weight that you carrying was muscle. It turned into fat, and now you're slimming down.
Well, I know
you ain't dead. In my opinion, I don't think Sony's anywhere near dead right now.
Yeah.
But I do think that they're taking this transition much more serious than they had thought at the beginning of this generation. The beginning of this generation, I feel like they thought they could just ride on the coattails of the PS4, which they've still been doing, right? But with the complications that brought upon themselves with COVID, mixed with the way that Xbox is kind of moving, purchasing certain studios and whatnot, the way that they've also moved into different aspects of gaming to garner more revenue, I feel like Sony may have looked across the street, got a little bit jealous. And I'm not saying that they're like, oh, we need to hurry up to make sure that we maintain first. Not exactly. I'm saying that they're seeing that, oh, Xbox, they opened up the PC and man, they're making a lot of money off of that.
Yep.
And although we have the console lead easy, we have a crushing console lead. I'm seeing them manifest money ways that I didn't feel comfortable doing. And now their seeming comfort has got me uncomfortable. They look real comfy in what they're doing. to the point that they're saying that they're not worried about us, which we kind of feel like that's a little bit of cap, including me. I feel like that's a little bit of cap saying, oh, yeah, we ain't worried about Sony. We just worried about Apple and Google and stuff like that, which obviously that's a bigger competition, dollar to dollar wise,
Mhm.
than PlayStation is. But as for, notoriety and stuff like that, I'd say Xbox is definitely a little jealous of PlayStation when
Yeah,
it
of
comes to
course.
that.
Of course.
So so them stepping to the side and doing what they need to do to stay relevant, being able to still, give off Game Pass in different types of ways, giving people the opportunity of playing in different types of ways. PlayStation was never about that life until now. So if everybody wants to put their head in the sand and say PlayStation ain't worried about Xbox, you're lying to yourself clearly, because this whole ass generation has been Sony doing slowly what Microsoft has started to do all the way back in like 2016, 2017. In fact, we can go a little further back and say that they're doing what Xbox did at 2013. If we're talking about DRM and only needing internet, what is the portal? Remember how big of a deal that was? Oh, you
Oh
have to
my
have internet.
goodness.
Well, now
Oh
you
my
have to have
goodness. That's
internet for
right.
one of their whole ass devices.
Damn.
For
Oh
a
my
whole
goodness.
ass device, you need internet for. And this came what after? I mean, keep in mind, PlayStation had the whole Gaikai and they had the whole, PlayStation. What was it called before it got smashed in?
Oh, PS Now.
Yeah. They had the whole PlayStation Now. They had a remote play going all the way back to what, the PS3.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That
this
was
is how
that
Sony
PS
likes to
Home
play
and
it.
stuff like that. Yeah.
But see, this is how Sony likes to play it. They like to put it out there like a crumb, right? But when somebody takes their crumb and stretches that bitch into a whole sandwich, PlayStation then comes back and says, hold up a second. You did that with that? I want to do that too. And that's what you've been seeing this whole generation for the PS5. Yeah, they're doing great in consoles, but we already knew they were going to do great with that. Hell, they knew they were going to do great with that, right? But where they're a little suspect is in literally every other avenue. Literally every other avenue for PlayStation is looking a little wishy-washy. Their game, their gaming cadence is wishy-washy. Their VR, which is phenomenal, gaming-wise, wishy-washy. Their PC launches, wishy-washy.
I will say trash. We go ahead.
Their rewards,
Oh,
wishy-washy. Just their service. Not saying that it's bad, because hey, if you haven't played all these games, like if you're not like me or K Mega, where it's just like, I played those before. If you're onboarding into PlayStation for the first time, it's a phenomenal service. If you're onboarding, have only played a little bit of PlayStation, it's a phenomenal service. If you didn't really play a whole lot of third party things, it's a phenomenal, especially if you don't mess with Xbox at all. It's a phenomenal service then. But when we're kind of weighing the scale back and forth, if you're willing to look at Xbox and say, man, you are way behind on consoles, then I can look at you and say, man, that PlayStation Plus Premium is way behind Game Pass. I can literally say the same thing back differently. Some of the things that you're doing great on, you're lacking in other areas. Some of the things that we're doing great on, we're lacking in other areas. The fact of the matter at the end of the day is who is putting in the effort to fix it? We see Microsoft has put in a crap ton of effort to fix their gaming cadence, to fix how you play, where you play. We've seen PlayStation fix services and get services there, sure. We've seen them go into PC, but the thing is that the thing about the difference between Microsoft and Sony in this situation is it feels like when Xbox is doing this stuff with PC, when they're doing this stuff with game cadence, they're going all out.
Yep.
As to where PlayStation, when they're doing things with their subscription service, rewards, when they're doing stuff with their with the handheld that they currently came out, it kind of seems a little corner cutty in some aspects, where it's just like you almost had a great idea, but you didn't quite nail it. You almost had a great idea bringing these games to PC, but why are they on Steam and not your own app? You almost nailed it with a PlayStation VR, but where are any first party games? You almost nailed it with the Portal, but it can only remote play and it has no Bluetooth. You know what I'm saying? You
That's
almost
crazy.
nailed it with so many of these things, but it's like you just kind of decided this is good enough and just left it.
Yeah. No, the one thing I will say that the people that will give you the pushback on that one point, the last point that you made about the reason why Sony half-asses when it comes to putting games on PC and things like that is because they're saying, well, because they want to sell more consoles, and as you see, they sell more consoles. But the reality of it is that yeah, they do this so they can sell their consoles, but it's a losing proposition because consoles are capped. It is official. We'll find out Black Friday how capped it is, because if they don't win the NPD and the Series X does, what does that tell you? Like, did everybody you know what I'm saying? Like, there'll still be PlayStation 5s to be bought. There's no question. But is it at the point to where now, because they were throwing them out and people were buying them that didn't have a chance to get them beforehand because of the chip shortage and all of that they already bought it, and then they already kind of like shot their load for 2023. They maxed out, and now people are like, they're buying their secondary console, or they're looking at the content that's coming out on Xbox, and they're looking at it and say, oh well, we could do that. We'll see this Black Friday. We'll see what it is, because those rumors, I don't know if they're true or not. The only thing that I've seen that looks official is that the Series X was the #1 selling thing on Amazon. I don't know about Black Friday. We'll find that all out. But if Sony does not win Black Friday, what does that tell you? Is that like, look, people have already got what they wanted. Yeah. And because of a bad year, it finally came up and caught up with you. And then people are looking at what's coming on Xbox and they're saying, well, you know what? I think this Xbox might be good, because the casuals only care about what they can get, you know, and more is better. And if you're sitting here, keep on trying to play, like, just to show these numbers of your console sales, that's great and all. But as I was telling somebody that I was having this discussion with for like 3 days, it was crazy. This person keeps talking about the console sales, and I'm like, look, every year Xbox is catching up and coming closer and closer and closer. So, you know what I'm saying? When you're talking about the revenue, well, it's not profit. Forget about all that, because the way that the Xbox do this situation is that they take from with Game Pass, they do make profit. They just put it back into their business because of tax purposes. They do not want to pay extra taxes, so they're going to put it back there. So they're going to put it on their books, and where they put their money right back into Game Pass, and that's when you see all these games are coming out that they're bringing into it. So it's making a profit. There's no question about that. But now this ABK thing is there. It's not going to be a question of how. It's going to be a question of when Xbox gets that #1 spot or takes over Sony. We don't know if that's going to be 2 years from now, if it's going to be at the end of the generation, or if it's going to be the next generation of consoles. But it's going to happen. That's the thing. And they've put all their eggs in the basket, but trying to hold on, it's because of those consoles. Xbox is always going to be full steam ahead with content and putting all their stuff, putting everything everywhere that they want to, and having a broad thing while Sony is trying to do that. And at this point, and if Sony keeps on trying to go back to the old and saying, well, our single player content, those games take years to make. And if they're not keeping up with the third party stuff like they were beforehand, because Xbox is over here now got the upper hand on that, I don't know, man. I mean, Sony is okay, right? Like PlayStation is fine. It's not going to die. But I do feel that Olympus is falling. I do. I think that Rome is falling. It's the beginning of the end. I do. I think that the being at the number one spot is about to go away. Curtains finito. It's a beginning of the end for me. It's a curtains finito.
All right, brother. Well, I gotta get moving. I gotta go pick up my daughter right now.
Thank you, man. Where can they find you at, brother?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me at TSWS Gaming, where we're going to be doing our next week's show of this crossover show.
Yes.
We do this every Monday, but we go from K Mega's channel to my channel and back and forth every week. So so make sure you go over the TSWS Gaming here on YouTube and check us out. Hit that subscribe button and be ready for the next episode of the crossover and or other shows that I do over on that channel as well. But thanks, K Mega. I'm gonna shut off my camera. I gotta
go ahead and dip, man. I appreciate it, man. As usual. We'll be on your channel next week. I'll be back to getting more content. GRG, we'll definitely have a GRG next this coming up Friday. I will be bringing some more content, just videos, and also Devin the Gamer will be next week. GRG, we're going to see if we can get some guests on for GRG because this most likely will be the
X-Man super chat though. Peace out.
Damn it. My bad, Sir X-Man. And I can't even get it because I cut off what's called. But anyway, Sir X-Man says, see, I was right. Sony is on business welfare. Shut up. It's not business welfare. It's just that Microsoft is now fully behind Xbox in a way that we haven't seen since, I would say, the Xbox OG. Or, from like the Red Ring of Death when they had to pay all that money to keep it, to keep sustaining it, to make everything right for gamers to keep on staying with Xbox 360. But I mean, this is at another scale, even beyond that, like for what they're doing right now. Like it's really, really crazy. But yeah, no, check that out. But yeah, the content will be coming back. But GRG, this will most likely be the last GRG for the year because I usually take the break until the new year, and then we'll come back. So we will have GRG, but it'll be the last GRG for 2023. This will be getting to the 300th episode in 2023 is not happening, but that's fine. We'll get there next month. But thank you guys so much. We'll be streaming and doing all that stuff here probably starting next week. Thank you guys. Hope to see you here Friday night on GRG. We'll see if Xbot's going to have a show on Thursday on his channel, Xbot 448, the next podcast. We'll see if that's going to happen. But if not, we'll definitely be having GRG. So I will hit up a couple of people, seeing if we're going to have some guests, and then that's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We are out. Peace.